It is already that time. Welcome back, everyone, to the Breaking Boundaries. Listen, you've read it correctly. This episode of our podcast is going to be a game changer. Dodge overwhelm. Yes, 4 ways to sidestep self sabotage. Again, welcome everybody. I'm really elated, very excited that you're taking the time out of your day to jump on in. You know the drill and routine. Let's go ahead and make this an abundance of people to come on in, your peers, your team, as well as your leaders. This is a safe space that you're going to grow and learn. And I'm going to tell you where we confront the tough stuff with straight talking. I am your host, Ruth McCrackin, and today we're diving in to the topic that hits hard in the hustle of our daily, yes, lives, overwhelm, or what many of us know to be called as well, burnout. How many of you all are ready? Let's go ahead and grab your favorite iPads. Go ahead and grab your pens if you're traditional and just take some notes because I want you to go back. You may even want to go back to our earlier recordings as we're streamlining on multiple platforms. It matters to me that you want to catch up because this is going to definitely be able to blow your mind. It's going to be so good. I'm super excited. We're going to explore 4 assertive strategies, yes, to avoid this career pitfall. It really is. It really is. And then most importantly, I want you to be able to keep self-sabotage, yes, at bay. Because I'm going to tell you, it tends to want to creep on to people. I was speaking to someone earlier this week and how they have been very committed to a very high reputable type of organization, only to be told, yes, it's time to let you go. Now, I wanted you to let you know we're going to talk about overwhelm can also creep up unnoticed, just like it did for this seasoned leader. And how many of you are HR executives, as well as seasoned top authority, that you're stemming from a biggest fear? Yes, let's be honest. Let's have some heart to heart and unmanaged stress, leading us straight into the trap of self-sabotage. Whether it's taking on too much to prove ourselves or hesitating to delegate because what? Maybe we fear losing control. Yes. Or maybe these behaviors set us up for what? Burnout. And today I want to help you with these 4 ways to let's break it down because it's going to definitely be a way to blow your mind and take action right away. And so these key strategies, as I mentioned before, to sidestep these pitfalls and maintain our professional and personal momentum. Okay, let's go and let's see who's ready. I want to bring on a very important story that really hits home for me because many of you all could probably relate as I speak and I broadcast to thousands of top performers and leaders. And some of you all work one-to-one with me as well. Let's talk about Maya. She's a mid-level manager who found herself regularly working late. How many of you all work after 5, 6, 7? Matter of fact, you take your work back home. And oftentimes you look at the time, it's already hitting close to 8, 9, and 10. And now you're having to eat late. Let's know that this is not an area that's going to be pretty much suitable for your health, or most important, your mental health. And so in this situation, I want to help understand how she found herself regularly working these late hours. And many of you all can probably shoot over to the comments and agree, skipping breaks, skipping lunches, and even most importantly, dinner, and eventually facing severe overwhelm. Yes, indeed. Her dedication, while admirable, but it morphed into self-sabotage. And as her performance plummeted, it pretty much plummeted. And I got to tell you, her health went along with it as well, unfortunately. It was a wake-up call that something had to change. When is it going to be a wake-up call for you when something similar to this situation has to change? But her turnaround, there is something called a turnaround. Go ahead and put in the comments, turnaround. Realizing she needed to set boundaries and prioritize. So let's go ahead, because I want to inspire you as well on what ways can you set boundaries without having the fear to creep up and thinking, am I going to be jeopardizing my work, my business, my clients, my consulting business, or my side gig or my side hustle? 4 ways to dodge overwhelm. It matters. How many of you all want to take back your mental because it's priceless? Yes. So the first one is set clear boundaries. Now, I want you to be able to understand, define what it is and what isn't acceptable to you in your workload and also in your personal time. If you're a soccer mom, if you're the type that are part of a PTO in the high school or middle school or even elementary, you got to be able to give yourself grace and set boundaries. Learn to say the 2-letter word that many of you all are afraid to say. Now, many of us, and I'm going to put myself into it as well, the word no or negotiate. Deadlines without guilt. You have to be able to negotiate, knowing that you're going to bite more than you can chew. If you set a deadline and after looking back, that may not have been realistic. Maybe the scope of the project took a different shift or a different leeway. Guess what? You have to be able to voice it. Let's get a quick huddle together with the team so that no one is going to be feeling the impact as much as, most importantly, yourself. Number 2, how am I doing so far? Let me know if we're moving in the right rhythm, because I definitely want to make sure that you're grabbing this. Listen, this day is the day that we stop overwhelm. So delegate. Number 2, delegate effectively. Now, I know many of you are going to probably think, well, delegate. I am a superior. I'm a leader as well. I understand sometimes you feel like you want to hold on to everything, but guess what? You want to keep your mental, you want to keep your balance, you want to make sure you're keeping harmony between your work and your life and your children and your partners, then set boundaries and make it more effective by delegating. Trust your team with responsibilities. Don't have to go ahead and be peeking over their back and text messaging them, or perhaps going into Microsoft Teams and every minute of the hour having to follow up. Delegation not only empowers others, but guess what? It also frees you from unnecessary stress. So give yourself the opportunity to trust your team members. Trust the managers that you put into play or in position to rely on huger stakes, in that you can be able to sleep at night. All right. Let me know if this is working for you in the right direction. How am I doing? The next one, number 3. Oh, this is going to be so good. I really love this one. This one hits home for Ruth. Prioritize self-care. Yes. How many of you all want to be able to make this more of a consistent or continual commitment? Oftentimes we wait till Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but guess what? There's something that's called a mental health day in the middle of the week. How about using a Wednesday or a Tuesday, or better yet, starting your Monday and knowing that I want to start it off on the right foot? So what I'm getting at is integrate regular breaks, even exercise. Now, I know we all had this long, beautiful summer. We took breaks wherever you are in the country or globally. Listen, let's get back to the regimen of working out, even if it's about 10, 15 minutes, or even an hour, depending on your workload or schedule. Maybe grab a hobby. Are you a tennis player? Are you in soccer? Or you like to be able to do some gaming, or perhaps some word boards or puzzles? Where I'm getting at is you have to break yourself away from your digital space when it comes to your laptop, your computer. Listen, we only have one life. And the goal here is we want to maximize it as much as we can. So when you take care of yourself, guess what? You perform 10 times better. Yes. And I'd rather be with you in your best version of you. You trust me, you're going to want to be with me in the best version of Ruth as well. Let me know if this is something that you're going to take heed and you're going to take action. And most importantly, you want to be able to see yourself marching in the right rhythm when it comes to this. Because I got to tell you, I got to be honest with you. If we don't put our spiritual also within our human, because I got to tell you, according to scripture, because I am a faith believer. Yes, I am. The heart is weak, but the spirit is willing. So we always have to do some self-reflection, self-development, self-dejunking, because it's really hard to be moving by the heart, because the heart can get tempted. It can get tired and be like, going to hit the snooze button 5 times before you immediately get off the bed. Listen, the spirit has to help drive you. In order to get that fueled up, you have to be able to do some devotions, or perhaps go ahead and do some collaboration and getting into a group, a community at large that fascinates and actually has the same heartbeat the way you do. You don't want to combat what I like to call life in this big old world called Earth School by yourself. If you don't know about any mentorship or any particular coaching or any resource, perhaps in your workplace, if they don't have a reliable team that you can reach on or lean onto, then maybe consider your manager or your supervisor. And if you're saying, Ruth Child, he or she or they, I got to tell you, we are not at good terms, then listen, there are groups out there. There are coaches and development leaders and executive coaches. I'm going to give you this opportunity to reach out. Put in the comments that you're ready to invest in yourself. But the most important part is, when are you going to do it? Oh, I'm going to wait till next year, or I'm going to wait till next month, or perhaps Q4, once we wrap up and get everything settled, maybe in your new home or in your new position or your new startup. You just did a launch and your things are just not moving in that direction. How about now? Because what would it cost you if nothing doesn't change in the next 3 months, 4 months? Your mental matters. I'm telling you, you have one opportunity, one chance in life. However, you have multiple chances and be able to invest in yourself and be able to make more income. Yes. And most important, be able to promote yourself. So in closing, and I want to share with you all, sometimes we may find this to be an area of challenge, not because you may not have the tenacity. Sometimes we just don't have the right roadmap when it comes to number 4, seek professional growth. Where, Ruth, I'm in an environment, my manager doesn't tend to, he or she may give me great opportunities on constructive feedback. However, they're not pointing me into the right direction as to how do I develop the best way of maybe communication, or the best way in increasing my confidence, or the best way in elevating and becoming that executive or leadership style that I'm looking to promote and position myself into, in that director or senior director or higher up. The moment you decide to say, I want to take the initiative, you have to leverage your voice. And I know this may be a bit of a timid area for many of us when it comes to, yes, saying, hey, manager, I have the appetite to grow. Where can you point me at? You'll be surprised. Oftentimes we get so comfortable in our roles that we don't know what the actual organization may have in partnership with. There could be very well partnership with a company like myself, or a consultant as myself, as a talent management consultant. I do believe that if you have not, because you ask not. How many of you are going to go ahead and go behind the closed doors and really meditate and prepare yourself on, how do I position myself to articulate and start outlining what resources may I need? And if you don't know what that looks like, maybe get into the opportunity of getting close to your human resources. And or maybe if they're not available, hey, guess what? Have you thought of doing a personality assessment? There's so many type of exercises out there in the marketplace. If you'd like to learn more, go ahead and let's go ahead and chat. Let's catch up, because this is something that I really truly do believe that you can do by opening up your mind and giving yourself the opportunity to just think about it. Now, who's ready to disrupt their current situation? I want to ask you this question as we're wrapping up here. Have you ever caught yourself, yes, in a cycle of overwhelm? Yes, I know. I can tell you plenty of times I've caught myself in overwhelm. In fact, school is around the corner. I have a first-time high schooler son, and listen, he's excited, and also, and at the same time, I'm excited. But I think I'm more on the angst side than he is. And then I have a first-time my not my first time, but because obviously I had my other children did become middle schoolers, and my last child, she's going to be entering into middle school now. I don't know about you all, but who remember middle school? Middle school is that purgatory stage, right? Between elementary and high school. I almost feel like you probably lose your mind if it's not in the right space, because that's the part where you have all the hormones, you have your personality, you're wanting to be accepted, you want to feel belong. Yes. Don't leave me here by myself, because I know this is not an area that I feel alone in. Many of you all know that middle school was hard. Middle school is not supposed to be that hard. It's supposed to be, yes, I'm not going to be naive either, but you want to be able to transform and you want to be accepted. But I got to tell you, this is an area just as well as life when it comes to your workplace, when it comes to your business. You want to incorporate the right mental type of supporting hands, whether it be a coach, whether it be a counselor, an advisor, or a side-by-side mentor. At the end of the day, do not come back this alone, my friend. Okay. This not only can help you reduce feeling of inadequacy, but it leads to overcommitment when one is not being challenged by getting the right type of help and support. I'm here to help you all. I'm excited to collaborate with organizations who want their team to thrive and want their team to promote themselves and have the communication barrier released so they can be able to set boundaries and also be able to have the voice to communicate. Now, with all that being said, if you're ready to take control and avoid overwhelm, make sure to tune into this transformative episode that we're going to do every week here. Learn about actionable strategies that you can implement right away. Don't forget to add this episode also to your repertoire to go back and replay, because I'm going to be honest with you. Everything I share with you comes from deep research, collaboration with also my peers and my team. It really matters. And I'm pretty sure it matters to you as well. And I'm super excited. I really am, on all the things that we're putting into place in the next couple of weeks. If you have it, I'm going to send the link below. This is going to help with removing or downsizing overwhelm immediately when it comes to boost your brand online from LinkedIn. I'm going to share with you 5 pillars on how to be able to take your professional brand and really have it positioning so you can be more attractable, more marketable, and being able to stand out as that sought after executive or leader, a seasoned leader within your role, so you can now promote yourself. And I'm going to tell you, we live in a day and time, things are not getting cheaper. Let me just put it in plain terms, layman terms. So therefore, to be true, your skills are pretty expensive. You've went through many on-the-job training. Perhaps you got your certifications. You've gotten higher education when it comes to your degrees. So therefore, start putting it into practice and start to elevate yourself when it comes to promoting yourself. So I know you all are definitely ready to do so. And if you're maybe needing some guidance, if it's not in your workplace, if it's not perhaps in your business where you have a community where you can mastermind with, then go ahead and join me here at the live event, the Zoom. It's going to be a live Zoom virtual event, super fun, very eventful, and it's going to be impactful as well. You will not come back out the same way you came in. And I'm super excited to meet you. It's very intimate. So therefore, seats are going to be very limited. And I want you to be there. And bring a friend, bring a peer. Listen, branding is something that people thought it was just only for corporate or perhaps only for celebrities or high premium type of products. No, sir. No, girl. That is not the case by far. And it hasn't been for a very, very long time. And so therefore, the question you want to ask yourself is, are you ready to boost your brand online? So let's go ahead and enroll. Look at the bottom of this link. You'll go ahead and grab your seat, get registered, book it in your calendar, because I do not want you to miss it. Until next time, everyone, I definitely love the fact that you hanging in here with me. Listen, thank you for joining on Breaking Boundaries. Remember, overcoming overwhelm isn't just about working hard. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and caring for yourself along the way. Let's be frank. Thinking about you matters. So let's keep breaking those boundaries and building, yes, a sustainable professional life. And you do not have to do it alone, my friend. Until next time,